Plans are starting to come together for a new downtown area in Centerton.
Yeah, 5 News reporter Parker Abels talked to city planners who are now excited for this future.
Now, the area behind me on South Main here in Centerton right now is just open field. However, soon the city hopes it can be an additional 400 acres of the new downtown. The city acquired this new land with the help of the Urban Land Institute to keep up with rapid growth.
It basically allows them to help fund a planning project, and we chose a master plan for our downtown.
Mayor Bill Edwards says a grant from the ULI will help update and expand downtown Centerton.
The one thing that Centerton lacks is we don't really have a defined downtown area.
He says new development will add to the quality of life.
Our staff looked at an area that's not developed as of yet. Wanted to make this area, more of a walkable area, have all amenities, folks can walk, bike, and have a nice gathering place.
Centerton City Planner Kayla Knight says it's a 3-stage plan.
Our old downtown, which we've been affectionately calling it the Old Town, which is north of, along North Main Street. And we're looking to revitalize that area, but still keep the history and the character of it. We're looking to do a new downtown along South Main Street, which you guessed it, we've been calling it Newtown. And that's about 400 acres of undeveloped green space in our city. And then the third component is getting people across Centerton Boulevard, because that's a state highway, so that they can get between Old Town and Newtown safely.
However, the mayor wants to make sure his residents love the idea before they move forward.
We want to hear what the community has to say too. We want to, get their feedback. So there'll be plenty of opportunities for them to offer that feedback to us, so we all can work together, the community and ourselves and our staff, and come up with something that we all be proud of.
Now, they are still early in the planning process, so there is no date as to when this project would start. However, the mayor does tell me that it will be completed about a year after that start date. Well, in Centerton, covering news where you live, Parker Abels, 5 News.
All right, Parker, thanks. A Fort Smith-based drone squadron has been recognized the best in the country. The 184th Attack Squadron, stationed out of the 188th Air Base there in Fort Smith. It was awarded the General Atomics Remotely Piloted Aircraft Trophy that recognizes the top squadron across the entire U.S. The 184th operated drones for more than 300 combat missions, spent thousands of hours conducting intelligence missions, and provided watch over airdrops of humanitarian aid.
Well, now an update on the professor at the University of Arkansas who reportedly confessed to downloading and viewing child sexual abuse material. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis is in the newsroom now to break down the details for us after hearing from a Washington County prosecuting attorney on this. Kayla.
Morgan, according to Brandon Carter, prosecuting attorney for the 4th Judicial District, the University of Arkansas professor made statements about possessing child sexual abuse materials, which led to his arrest and so far 1 charge of possession. On July 11th, around 7:30 a.m., investigators searched 34-year-old Joshua Eric McGee's home on North Betty Jo Drive in Fayetteville. They say they found a thumb drive containing multiple folders of child sexual abuse material. The search came after the Internet Crimes Against Children alerted Fayetteville PD that content was being downloaded to McGee's address. He was arrested that day. McGee posted bond at $5,000. The following day, Ann was released. Carter says child predators remain an ongoing problem and believes the state must continue to make this issue a top priority.
This office in the state takes such a strong stance on CSAM cases is because the children depicted in CSAM images are just as much of a victim as somebody who has been actively offended on. In fact, people in those images were actively offended on. That's why the image exists. The difference is that every time that image is distributed, that child is re-victimized again.
McGee is scheduled to show up in court on August 8th, where he will receive formal charges. Investigators will spend the next several days or weeks going through McGee's devices to determine if more charges should be filed. Kayla Davis, 5 News.
Thank you, Kayla. An Arkansas man who was arrested for abducting a teenager from Wisconsin was in court this week. Gary Day is accused of taking Sophia Franklin in early February, leading to nationwide Amber Alerts. Day pleaded not guilty to 4 different felony charges, which were 2 counts of child abduction and 2 counts of child enticement. The 2 were found in April in Omaha, Nebraska. Day's being held tonight in Wisconsin on a $2 million bond.
Our Verify team is answering your questions tonight about the new federal budget. Many had questions about a letter that the Social Security Administration sent out after the president signed this into law. Megan Bragg verifies.
We received a question from Bob Al about whether this email from Social Security is a scam. It highlights tax relief for seniors after the passage of the Big Beautiful Bill. So what does this change for you? Let's verify.
To answer this, we went to the Social Security Administration and AARP. On July 3rd, the SSA sent out an email and press release applauding the passage of the Big Beautiful Bill. The first question, what does the bill include for taxpayers? The new tax package includes an additional deduction of up to $6,000 for seniors ages 65 and over. However, the deduction starts phasing out over those who earn over $75,000 and phases out completely at $175,000 for individuals. So how will this impact Social Security federal tax withholdings? This deduction applies to all of a senior's income, not just to Social Security benefits. The temporary deduction allows beneficiaries to claim a lower federal income tax. This tax break is in effect for 2025 and expires in 2028 when President Trump leaves office unless Congress takes action. With your Verify, I'm Megan Bragg.
The president did sign a bill into law today that will help law enforcement stop fentanyl trafficking. The law permanently classifies all fentanyl-related substances as Schedule I narcotics. The president called it a righteous blow against drug traffickers and criminal cartels.
We'll be getting the drug dealers, pushers, and peddlers off our street, and we will not rest until we have ended the drug overdose epidemic. And it's been getting a little bit better, but it's horrible. It's horrible. We're going to end it once and for all.
The bill did get bipartisan support. It also targets counterfeit versions of the drug.